All right, we're back here on 757 Saturday Sports Talk. Like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, CoVA Sports TV. We have a special guest with us. He is the new head football coach at Kecoughtan High School in Hampton. He'll tell us about his background, which I think has roots to wearing that green and white there at Kecoughtan. We got Coach Z with us. Coach, I'll get the first name right. I hope I don't butcher it. Is it Zecharie James?
Yeah, Zecharie James.
Okay, good, because I was debating last night, is it Zecharie or Zachary, but it's spelled differently, Zecharie. First of all, thank you for coming on the program. Congrats to you, and you excited about your first season as the head man?
Yes, sir, absolutely excited. And it's spelled Zecharie is after Zecharie in the Bible. So if you look at Zecharie in the Bible, similar to that, except for my mom changed it into I-E instead of I-A-H, like Zecharie.
There you go. I love that. Great to hear.
Right.
Now,
definitely excited, man. Definitely excited. So
let's dive into your background, because I'm not sure Coach Young recalls you. I believe, and maybe I'm just getting old. Did you play at Kecoughtan?
Yes, so I graduated Kecoughtan 2014. So I got there from Benjamin Sims Middle School, like a lot of my kids now are coming in. Came from Sims Middle School, got to Kecoughtan, played there, played safety, played running back, played with a lot of great players. Brian Lipscomb, Trent Cannon, Elijah White, Jason Fugate, Nicholas Carrera. We had so many guys. It's a lot of guys. Played with them, graduated 2014. I went on to play college ball at Shadron State, got a scholarship out there, Division II school in the RMAC conference. Very successful program, some notable alumni from there. Danny Woodhead played for New England Patriots. Don Beebe played for the Bills back in the day. We got a couple linemen that made it to the NFL. So very prestigious program in the Midwest.
That's awesome. I'll let Coach Young jump in here just a second with you, Zachary. But, it's funny. So I covered you as a player at 2014. So you played for, is that Coach Coley, Alonzo Coley?
I played for Coach Coley for 2 years, and then I played for Coach Woodleaf for 1 year. His last year at Kecoughtan. So yeah.
Yep. So that was not too long ago. And you mentioned Trenton Cannon, who I saw in the area just last year. He was down here for the Josh Sweat football camp.
Yeah, that's one of my best friends, man. So I'm really still close with most of my teammates, man. It's one of my best friends. We were a pretty tight-knit group. We all went on to play college ball, so everybody stayed pretty close.
Did you when you were playing, did you ever have visions of what would be Zecharie James's life or occupation beyond playing the game of football? I know some high school kids think about, I'm going to make it to the pros one day. What did you ever see coaching in your future? Tell us about that a little bit as you were growing
up. I'm
like
everybody else. I wanted to go to the NFL.
Yeah.
I wanted to go to the NFL. That wasn't in my cards. I was a 3-year starter at the college level. The opportunity was there. My boy Trent was at Division II just like I was. He got drafted. So I definitely had the opportunity. I maximized my potential. Had a wonderful time. Got to play on ESPN every year. I finished, actually, my last game was college game day of the week for Division II. We played Colorado School of Mines, and it was for a playoff spot. So I got no arguments, man. It was definitely NFL. But after that, I love football. My passion is football. So I got straight into teaching. I got my degree in health and physical education. Got immediately into coaching over at Bethel High School. And then I came right back to Kecoughtan after 1 year at Bethel.
Coach Zecharie James, our guest here, 757 Saturday Sports Talk on CoVA Sports TV, taking over after Jeff Super led the Warriors. They're trying to make the playoffs in Region 5B, which has been a pretty competitive one here lately with the likes of Maury, reigning state champions. You got Warwick from the Peninsula, who had a great 9-1 season.
Oh, man, don't call it competitive, man. Somebody got to step up, man. Maury has been dominating. They've been dominating. There's no other way to put it. I think they've won the region every year since, I believe, 2017, 2018, man. So
that's correct.
We're trying to catch up to those guys because somebody got to step up. We got to make it competitive. That's what makes everybody better when nobody knows who's going to win.
Yep. Season opener, Ed, for the Warriors, August 29th at Gloucester.
Well, first, Coach, congrats on the job. I'm just getting so far over the hill. I coach myself in terms of the basketball. I'm looking at a dude right here. I thought he put the wrong guy on the screen. I said, Hatfield screwed up again. We got this doggone senior in high school. He put this guy up here, this young-looking dude. Congrats. You are the youngest high school coach in the country. But one thing I'm going to ask you not to do, Zach, one thing, don't – you are so young-looking. You know, there's some knuckleheads across the country in different sports, coaches now, that jumped in the game. Played in the game. We had an incident at Churchland with a female dressed as a player. You could get away with it real easy and nobody would know.
Yeah, man, I had a lady come to me. I was wearing my Kecoughtan gear. She was like, "Oh, you a senior this year?" I was like, "No, man, no, man."
That's what I'm saying,
not
man. Now let me ask you that. Being the young dude, you're new on the block, one of the new coaches. You only have the 1 year assistant coach at Bethel experience, or you coached before?
So I was 1 year assistant coach at Bethel. I've been at Kecoughtan as the assistant coach for 4 years. So I came in as a DB coach at Bethel when I graduated. I did my student teaching there for my bachelor's degree. Then I came to Kecoughtan with Super. I was initially the first year I was just special teams coordinator. Then the next year I moved on. The last 3 years I've been defensive coordinator, and then last year I was an assistant head coach. And then now,
okay. And you're under a good dude. I know Jeff well.
Yeah, man, really good guy, man. Really good guy.
Yeah, really, he does it the right way. I was shocked, fussed him out and everything else when he stepped down, but he just wanted to take a quick break. Hopefully he'll get back in it.
Man, that guy's at the beach so much it doesn't make sense. So
yeah, he's out there. Jeff's out there. Good dude though. I just think he needed a break. He's done great things at Kecoughtan. I have no doubt in my mind. You too, as long as people be patient. And as
we got a good group now, man. I was in there this morning looking at these guys. We're sitting on a landmine. I talk to the guys all the time. We can shock a lot of people. I truly believe this year, man. Truly believe that.
Well, again, and I don't doubt you, but right now everybody's going to be chasing Maury because
absolutely we all are
too deep at every position, and there's reasons behind that, which we won't get into right now. But as you come in, and obviously being an assistant there, the kids know you one way. Now they're going to know you a little bit different way. What are a couple things that when they said, all right, congrats, you're our head coach now, you took the job. So things that you said, okay, I've got to get, this is what I have to do now. What were the first couple things that you wanted to accomplish?
Winning off the field. So winning in the classroom, that's the big thing for me. That's all that matters. I believe we do that. We win in the classroom, we win in the school in terms of when people talk about a Kecoughtan high school football player, they're talking about a good person, high character, discipline, teamwork, integrity, courage. Those are the things that I want to talk about when I talk about a Kecoughtan football player. And that's been the big push. And then also I didn't flip the roster. I didn't get any transfers. I wasn't looking for any transfers. But I got a lot of young kids who have not been out there, who have came out. I really recruited our building hard. Guys talk about recruiting. I recruited the kids that were in the school, walking the hallways, getting everybody. Hey, if you're interested, I don't care if you're 5'4" or if you're 6'4", which would be even better. But I don't care. If you got some heart and you're interested, come out and play. And that's been the big recruiting push. So we got a lot of new guys. We don't have many returning players. People who didn't want to change, they had to go. And they are going. And we got some guys there that want to be there, that want to do the right things off the field, which ultimately are going to help us win on the field.
You mentioned that story. Go ahead, Ed. Go ahead.
Now, I was going to ask one more. Now, you being on the defensive side, coordinator and all that, as you become head coach, how do you handle it? Are you still involved predominantly with defense and have offensive coordinator handle that? Or because you guys, football coaches, do some crazy stuff. You usually have a lot of assistants. You're in the film room more than Cisco and Ebert ever were. How do you, in your mental makeup of offense, defense, special teams, how do you handle that?
Well, I'm going to be involved in everything. We got a smaller coaching staff. We're going to max out most likely 8 coaches this year. So everybody has to have an impact on every side of the ball. That's all important. I've been D coordinator, and that's been great. And I love defense. I play defense. I'm moving over to the offensive side of the ball this year. I'll be also the offensive coordinator. And we're all going to have our hands in making sure that we're successful in every area. We had a lot of lapses on special teams. I'm a big special teams guy. At my school in college, we had an award called Dog Soldier for playing on 4 special teams. And every year I was Dog Soldier. So special teams mean something to me. And I cannot stand seeing poor execution on the special team side of the ball. And offensively, coming from the defensive side of the ball, it's my time to prove. Offensive guys, man, they got the easy life, man. Everybody knows what they're doing before the play start. It's all about the teaching, the basic skills, and the fundamentals, and getting the kids to understand what we're trying to do, who are we trying to attack.
We're talking with Coach Zecharie James here with us from Kecoughtan High School, new head football coach, our guest on 757 Saturday Sports Talk on CoVA Sports TV. Like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're also all over the web. Kecoughtan, as we mentioned, their season opener coming up August 29th at Gloucester. You hit on the story there, too, a little bit. Trenton Cannon Coach, that I remember as a player, and maybe we're guilty of it as us in the recruiting business, the evaluating business, the scouting business. He was, I think, a second team All Peninsula District player. A lot of good players when he played. He was so overlooked. Goes the Division II route, Virginia State. Heck of a career. It's a neat story, inspiration. You've had other kids that, they can stay.
Initially Shepherd.
That's right. Shepherd,
he was slept on there and wasn't really getting the opportunity he felt like he deserved. And bet on himself. Went over to Virginia State.
He got drafted in the NFL over guys that were 4- and 5-star prospects in his graduating class from our state. Not to disparage those guys or say they weren't good enough, but he obviously put it pedal to the metal. And you've got some guys come out of Kecoughtan. You mentioned the Nick Carreras, the Jason Fugates. You played there. David Anderson here recently. Offensive
David Anderson is doing a great job.
I was going to say, I think I saw you. Did he speak to the team recently? I saw something you guys posted on social recently about him.
Gerard Mail had came by.
Gerard, okay, yep. NFL.
David comes all the time. Anytime David, man, he's such a hard worker. Anytime he comes in town, he's hitting me up. Hey, coach, can you let me in to the gym so he can get a workout in? He doesn't stop, man. He comes home. That's all he does, I'm sure.
I'm sure Ed will follow up this being a veteran coach himself, and then we'll dig into your players offensively, defensively, some names to watch out for this fall and beyond for you at Kecoughtan High School. But what did that mean to you? Not just being a Kecoughtan grad, being a first-year head football coach, to have a guy come back to his alma mater, and we're good friends with Tommy Austin, who coached once upon a time, even before you at Kecoughtan High School. He coached Mayo in high school, but to have him come back to his alma mater to share some wisdom with you, your kids, your coaches, that had to be a very powerful moment for you and everybody involved with the program.
Yeah, it was big time. It was big time for the kids. I love that the kids got to see him and see this is somebody who was sitting in the same shoes that you're sitting in right now on the same field, putting in the work and what you can make of it. I tell the kids all the time, for me, football opened up a lot of doors for me, a lot of opportunities for me in my life. I was never big into school. For me, it was about football, but here I am, somebody who was never a straight A student, and I have my master's degree now, and I would have never went down that route in terms of seeking education if it wasn't for the game of football. And it's opened up so many doors outside of sports for me in my life. And it's good for the kids to see that with him, you can take it this far. It's possible right from where you are here at Kecoughtan.
Yeah, absolutely, Ed.
Well, no, the other thing, when you have a Gerald Mayo who's now at the highest level in terms of coaching, it brings to mind, and I think you've kind of touched on it, Zecharie, is what coaches, I know I've done it when I was younger, I still do it now, what coaches out there kind of really help you shape your philosophy, your way of doing things on the field?
Me personally?
Yes.
So a coach I follow, I'm real big on coaches who have coached at multiple different levels of the game. So one, I'll give a shout out to Coach Coley, my high school head coach. Even though he coached at Phoebus, he was working over at Kecoughtan. He was always a open book for me anytime I need to go talk to him or ask him questions, as long as it's not the week that we play Phoebus. He's been a great impact. Really, my coaching I had in college, Jay Long, and my defensive back coach in college who recruited me to go out there, Craig Jerzel, big impact. But beyond my coaches that I had, a coach that I really watch is Tony Anise. He's a coach at Ferris State University. It's a Division II school up in Michigan. Very, very successful, prominent program. A lot of people don't know about it. But if you know anything about football and you're actually into football on all levels and not just the big-time teams, he's a guy who started at the high school level, state champions at the high school level. He went to the junior college level, national championship, and now he's on the Division II level. He's won multiple national championships at a program who was not a prominent program. He turned a program that was nobody into something, and he did it through serving the players. Football, the reality is there's no special scheme to win. It's about getting the team to buy in and actually loving your guys and serving your guys, and they will give it to you on the field, everything they got. If they believe that you care, you put them in the right situations. You definitely got to put them in the right situations, but they'll give it. So that's a guy that I really follow big time, along with other great coaches. But Tony Anise, I would say, has the biggest impact on my philosophy, because he's somebody that I follow. Even playing at Shadron State, I kept up with Ferris State because you're in college, you're always looking at the rankings, who's who, why are they ahead of us? And I was like, what are they doing over there? Like, I've never heard of this school. And big time coach.
That's great to hear. Ed, you don't really hear the answers usually a Division II coach get brought up, but I love the in-depth thought and doing his homework and research there. Coach, let's talk about your team this coming season. I know you don't have maybe the marquee blue chip recruits that some schools have, but it sounds like you love the hardworking dedication you got from these young men. You can take it from upperclassmen down to the underclass guys, a breakout name or two, offensively, defensively, wherever you want to go. Who are some names that are catching your eye that we should be watching out for this fall and beyond at Kecoughtan High School?
I got some guys who I think can be those blue chip guys. So seniors, I have my big impact seniors. I have Keith Cherry. He's going to be a running back and linebacker for us. Hasn't had the opportunity truly to put all his talent on film, but I think we're going to get an opportunity to showcase that this year. Really big kid, 215-pound running back, one of your old school Peninsula District bruising backs that none of the kids in the district really run and hit. So he's one of those kids. I got a lot of other seniors putting in work. Jordan Townsend, a lineman, last year was his first year playing. You talk about a David Anderson. He's literally the same size as David Anderson. His skill is not super far off, but he hasn't had the reps to show that he can do what I know he's capable of doing. Juniors, I have Josiah Richardson, a guy who got hurt last year, who to me was our best skilled player last year and would have made a huge difference on what we were able to do on the field. But he got hurt before the season even started with a meniscus tear. So he's going to have a huge impact this year. He's been putting in the work since February, hasn't missed anything. His grades 4.0 guy, which is those seniors 4.0 guys as well. So I know he's going to have a huge year. I just, when you have a feeling, and I haven't seen it, but God talks about faith and things unseen. And I tell him all the time, I said, man, I know what you're capable of. I seen it coming last year. I just was watching the practice. You see a guy moving around and you're just like, oh, this is going to be good. And he went down. I still remember the day he got hurt. Makes me want to drop a tear now, but I'm super excited to have him healthy. I'm always asking him, how your legs feeling? Because I want him to really go out there and be able to showcase what I know he can do based on the things that I've seen. So Josiah Richardson, I got a lineman, Riley Griffin, going into the 11th grade, really big kid, 6'3", 310 pounds. I'm expecting big things out of him. He's been putting in the work. That's the thing. They've been putting in the work. Nobody's watching, but the guys that's around, and I know they're going to have a huge impact. 10th graders, I got James Vinny coming back. He hurt his knee in track doing shot put, but he'll be back maybe before the first game. They're saying it was just a slight meniscus tear, very, very slight meniscus tear. He was a starting running back last year. Him and Keith will be splitting reps, and I'm super excited about what he's going to do. Another one of those 4.0 guys. I got another kid coming up, Jamaro Sifo, going to the 10th grade. Didn't play last year. This is one of those guys that I talked about recruiting the building. He ran track. He also played varsity baseball in the 9th grade. Everything you can ask for. One of those kids that kid is an athlete, and if you can teach him the game, he's going to explode. One of those kids. So I'm expecting big things from Jamaro Sifo. And then 9th grade wise, I'll just mention my two competing quarterbacks right now are 9th graders. And I'm not going to say either one of their names, but I'm excited to see who's going to really take charge and get that spot because they're going to put on a show. I truly believe.
Well, with two 9th grade quarterbacks, you have to like what they can bring beyond this year as they gain that experience. By the time they're juniors and seniors, they'll have gone through the fire of playing the Phoebuses, the Hamptons, been in the wars of the PD because
hopefully it's not a fire. Hopefully they're not.
Right, exactly. But you know what I mean. Like, it's better to get it now than to have a junior. They've been in there as 9th graders. So by the time they get to that level, they can. How about, and I'm sure as Ed's over there wondering this too, Ed's a guy that wants to throw the bomb on 4th and 1. He's crazy. He wants to flicker.
I'm like Ed, and come coach with me, Ed.
Hey, I was going to say it. I was going to learn this young guy because I've learned some veteran coaches. 4th and inches. Everybody expects you to pout up the middle, run the end around, flank the quarterback out wide.
You're gonna have fans throwing stuff at him from the stands. Don't get him in trouble.
Lead flicker. He's a young dude. This guy knows what he's doing, or they wouldn't have gave him the keys to the field. He'll be okay, but you gotta sometimes take the chances. It may not work at first, but those kids will realize, and like you said earlier, you've got to develop the relationship where you can get them to do what you want. Because if you don't, that ain't gonna happen. And it'll work. And for people. I think he already learned this. Jeff knows this. when you start listening and worried about what people say in the stands, you end up with them.
Mm-hmm.
And I like my seat where it is right now. I've made mistakes before. I ain't worried about it. Still been successful enough. Don't want to brag about it. But you got to take chances sometimes. And I think especially more so high school than pros and college, because unfortunately pros in college, a mistake or two here or there gets you fired because ADs are very insecure or owners are a little bit crazy at the pro level.
They spend a lot of money, man.
What's that? Say that again?
I said they're spending a lot of money.
Well, it is. It's a money, right? It is money. So a decision or two may not work, but you lose one game. Come on now.
Hey, I'll tell you what. This is my dream scenario. I signed one of those 80 million guaranteed coaching jobs, and they have the nerve to fire me after losing one game. Guaranteed contract. That's my lottery.
I would say right now, first of all, they're going to make you sign a buyout. Which if they get rid of you, they're going to give you $1 million and say happy trails.
Man, they put that money out, man. That Texas coach got paid. What do you get paid? Like $60 million for nothing?
Yeah.
A lot of money, man. I mean, you're going to fire me to pay me all this money. You retired.
Again, Jimbo Fisher you're talking about. Yeah, Jimbo Fisher. Yeah,
man, they got paid millions on millions on millions.
Yes, it depends on your agent. You have to have the right type of agent to get all that stuff written down.
I'm hiring Rich Paul, man.
It's like the NBA. Monty Williams gets fired after 1 year. They got to pay him $14 million to probably go announce next year. So, my attitude is I'll take $50,000 and walk. That's fine with me if you want to pay me that money, not coach. But high school is a whole lot different.
Yeah, man. The big thing with the high schools, man, especially around here, not saying they don't put money into the kids, but they're not putting as much as some of these other places. So for them, is really big on the kids doing the right things in the building and being good people. Everybody wants to win, but I can't say in the state of Virginia, that's people's number one priority. We don't pour as much money into sports as some of these other states. And then there's nothing against us. We got our priorities. And I think we put enough to get the kids opportunities to be successful. If you look at all the talent that we've had, everybody, I'm sure, feels like they can do better. But the big thing is making sure the kids are good people, man. You can't really get, if you're just not coaching the kids at all, but you had to be really terrible for them to want to fire you just strictly for coaching reasons.
Well, yes and no. I can get into that real easy. I just lost a job in which we won again 15 games a year forever, but that's a whole nother story.
I want to hear that story.
When you get older, I've got some stuff.
Problem, Coach Z, is you'll be going into not just your weekend plans, but mine for AAU basketball. We have Phil Steele on, so you'll be. It'll take till 4 or 5 o'clock, but y'all can do a lunch date or a connect one day, and he'll give you the story.
I'm working on a one-man clinic where I'm going to give people, young coaches, some of the pitfalls that I've faced and some things that you can learn from different administrators and whatever, and what you have to do. And I'm not down on anybody because the main thing in the high school level is administrators, they all want to win. But you're right. Sometimes they don't put in what needs to be put in. And their hands are tied at times. What they will not put up with is to be blindsided by negativity or something happens in the program because they get enough of it already. So they don't want to be blindsided. And a coach should not have that happen. That, you have a relationship with your administrators too. You let them know what your rules are, give a copy of it to them. When things are come up, you go talk to them. Hey, you might get a call on this. One thing administrators hate is to get a call and they have no clue what the parent or downtown is talking about. That does not make them look good. And
absolutely. I would say I just finished my master's this spring, actually, in educational administration. So to be a principal. And doing my internship this spring, I was able to really see a lot of the things they get to see that we don't hear about as the teachers and what bothers them, like you said, hearing about something after the fact and not initially. So I definitely understand. And I think that helps me have a better relationship with my administrators because we built that throughout the spring. I was doing whatever they asked me pretty much for my internship. I had to get 200 hours. So, hey, whatever you need, I'm here for it. So we spent a lot of time together. Was able to build that relationship, so it's been great. I know exactly what you're talking about.
As long as you follow those kind of guidelines, you'll be good. A lot of times, you young guys, I say you, I mean it in general.
Yeah, no, I don't take no offense, man.
Yeah, you get jobs and you think you're going to change the world. The world needs change, but we're not going to do it. That's going to take over time. People have been saying that since caveman days. And a lot of young coaches don't reach out to veteran coaches. It's like, oh, they're coming from stone ages. They don't understand what I'm going through. We have all walked your path. You have not been at our destination yet. And I, as a veteran old coach, I still lean on people a lot, coaches a lot, young coaches, veteran coaches. I'm the type of coach, when I call timeout, you'll hear me say to the players, okay, what are we doing? Now, I'm the one calling the timeout, but I'm asking them what can work. Obviously, what you're doing now ain't working. So you tell me what's going to work. Most people think you're the coach, you should tell them. If you tell kids to do something and they don't really want to do it, it ain't getting done. So I'll ask them what can work, because we're embarrassing ourselves now in front of all these people. So I don't have a problem doing that. I don't have a problem having the players take charge, because the game is theirs. Practice is mine. The game is theirs. And as long as you young guys are willing to put the time and effort and work, what we used to call pay your dues, you'll be successful. And success is based on talent level. You're recruiting your building the best you can, instead of going out and recruiting everybody else's building, which a lot of guys do. You hire the right staff. Your schedules are pretty much handed to you, because you only get to play 10, 11 games, because strength of schedule is very important. Basketball, I can schedule 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 extra games. Depending on my team, I'm going to try to schedule people I think are competitive games for us. I'm not scheduling blowout games either way, because it's not going to help us down the road. But and I don't want to make this a soliloquy about what veteran coaches think about you younger guys. But you brought
listen, I want to learn, man. Keep talking.
No, we can't do that, because we do have some other things coming on, and this is your segment. It ain't my segment.
This is the Ed Young, old man, get off my lawn. Let me tell you how you young whippersnappers with my last name is Young.
Man, that's how I learned everything I learned in my life, man.
But we'll get you. We'll close up with you on this one. We thank you for your time, Coach. I'm sure we'll get you back on, hopefully after a big win during this season coming up. Sort of a two-prong. Give us your scrimmages who you got before that game 1 on August 29th against Gloucester. What you're hoping to gain out of those scrimmages, A. And then B, we touched on it a little bit jokingly, but in all seriousness, philosophy-wise, offense, defensively, without giving away the secrets, what could sort of the common fan out there of Kecoughtan or those that watch football expect from you, what they'll see offensively, defensively in terms of how you'll play, if you will, without diving into the exact schematics, perhaps? Okay,
so the first question was what scrimmages we had.
Yeah, who you got coming up?
What scrimmages that we have, first one is August 15th. We're going over to Kempsville. It's going to be Kempsville, Churchland, in York High School. The big things we're expecting to get out of that is getting those young quarterbacks a lot of different looks, because we're playing 3 different teams. That's why it's really good for us to be in the jamboree instead of a one-on-one, because they would only see one team. They're going to get looks against 3 different teams and get as many people reps as possible. I got a lot of guys, but it's their first time playing football, so get them those live action reps. So we're a team, we won't be heavy on contact in practice. We won't have any live tackling most likely until the 15th. I don't think it's necessary. We'll be doing, obviously, tackle circuits, working the drills, but getting everybody reps so they can get live reps on that August 15th, and then moving into the next week against Grafton High School that following Friday. The big thing I'm expecting to see is, all right, you got to see 4 teams with 3 teams. Now let's go out here and go through the phases of a game. And, okay, see first quarter, second quarter. I'll probably try to run my starters at least the first half, so they could kind of get that vibe of opening up and then finishing the half out, and then hopefully get those younger guys in third and fourth quarter and get everybody reps. That's the big thing for me, is get everybody reps before that Gloucester game, because I know Gloucester's going to have a heck of a team this year, man. They were much improved last year, so I'm already preparing for what is to come on that Friday night. Thursday night, we moved it to – it was originally Friday, but moved it to Thursday because of that holiday, Labor Day. So I'm expecting them to have a big crowd out there. My guys, Gloucester has great fan support, so I'm expecting a big challenge going out there on that Thursday night. So getting them ready for that, so they're ready for that environment out there in Gloucester County.
Perfect. And just sort of follow up the other part, offensively, defensively, you're still kind of learning the personnel. Will that kind of dictate a lot of what you guys will be running and doing, perhaps?
Yeah, so luckily we got the personnel that we need to really do what I want to do. We got all the bodies we need. I told the coaches this morning, we got everything we need. We can't sit here and complain and say we don't have what we need. We got plenty of linemen. We got plenty of skilled guys where hopefully we can have a 2-platoon system and guys not having to go both ways. As common as that is, I think we'll be able to get away from that unless somebody's just so far off athletically that, hey, we need them on the field at all times. So we got everything we need to do what we want to do. Number one thing is just be disciplined. Like I said, there's nothing special. There's no special scheme. We don't have any special scheme on offense or defense. RPOs on offense, quarters defense on defense is not like no secret or nothing. The big thing is how we do what we do is going to be the difference. And when people see us, hopefully they say that's a disciplined team, a well-coached team. Everybody, the lineman is consistent throughout the defense. On offense, everybody's getting lined up quick. We'll be able to move fast, hopefully. So that's all I expect. Nothing special.
Should be a lot of fun for Coach Zecharie James and the 2024 Kecoughtan Warriors this year. Going out and support them, check them out. Should be a neat adventure here in the Peninsula District for them here this season. We wish you all the best. We thank you for spending so much time with us this morning. And remember, Ed, when you hit that flea flicker to win a game on the final play in October, all right?
Ed, I'm putting it up, man. I got you. 4th and 1. It's going up.
Do that, man. Put it somewhere in the playbook. Bring it about the middle of the year. Use it. You don't have to thank me later. Just thank yourself for having the confidence to do it.
All right, bet, man. Y'all have a great day. I appreciate y'all having me on.
Absolutely. Have a great week, and we will keep in touch. That's Coach Zecharie James, the head football coach of the Kecoughtan Warriors in his first season at the helm. We'll take a timeout. We got some more coach clips coming your way, plus Phil Steele. It's all